Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have James. James is from England in the UK. So let's see what James has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, James. How are you?
I am good. Better now than I have been all week. I'm recovering from an illness, but quite happy today because I'm feeling all
Amazing.
right. How
Amazing.
about you?
It's been good, actually. I love those, crispy autumn days where it's not too cold, it's not too warm. It's like in the middle. I love those days.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So, tell me, how's your day going so far?
It's all right. I haven't really done much, but yeah, I'm chilling.
Tell me what has been the highlights of your week so far.
Oh, again, I've been ill all week, so I haven't really been up to much. So the highlight of my week probably would be today because it's the first day that I'm feeling better. So yeah, nothing exciting, but
Amazing, amazing, great. And tell me where you're from, James.
I'm from Nuneaton, which is a town in the West Midlands. It's kind of just north of Birmingham in England.
So tell me something interesting about your town, something that stands out compared with other places in the UK.
Well, I wouldn't say Nuneaton's a particularly nice place, but it does have some good origins. In fact, the writer, there's actually quite a few writers from around here, but George Eliot is from Nuneaton and Michael Drayton is from nearby, so that's pretty cool.
Oh wow! So the nearest big city is Birmingham.
I'm kind of slap bang equal distance in the middle between Birmingham, Coventry, and Leicester. So I'd say Coventry's probably closer.
I see, and that's the place where you're born and raised.
Raised, yeah, but I was born in Australia.
Oh my God! What a
Yeah.
difference! Wow! And why? Why is that?
Well, it's strange. My mom is from England, but she grew up in Australia, and she then moved back to England as an adult. Met my dad. Then they moved back to Australia, had me there, and then they were like, "Oh, let's move back to England." So there's a lot of back and forth between the two countries.
Oh wow! So how long did you live there since you were born in Australia?
Just till I was 2 years old, so not long.
Oh, I see. So you don't have like memories of growing up there.
I have a couple like super vague memories, but I'm not sure whether they're real or not, or whether I'm making them up from photos I saw or whatever.
And where's about in Australia you were born?
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Amazing. And have you came back since you lived or not?
I haven't ever been there since. No, I'm hopefully gonna go there next year, maybe for the first time. That'll be sick.
Amazing. And what do you do for work, for living, James?
Nothing at the moment. I've just got out of university, doing
Okay.
electronic music production, and I'm hoping to get into composing for games, video
Oh,
games. Yeah.
interesting. And I know, of course, you're a singer, you are a songwriter, a musician. So walk me through more a little bit about your journey so far.
Well, since I was like quite young, I've been into music. I started making like beats on my computer. Well, actually, I started off on a games console making music
Okay.
since I was around 11. And then when I was more like 15, 16, I decided to pick up the guitar and try and teach myself how to sing and play.
Yeah.
And it wasn't till I was around 18 that I started recording music and stuff. And
Yeah.
during uni, I put out a few singles, and then right at the end of uni, a few months ago, actually, I put out a EP, my first ever EP. So that's where I am so far.
When you say EP, what do you mean by that?
EP, I think it means extended play or something. It's like a short album. It's around.
Ah,
It could be from like 4 to 6 songs or something like that. Mine's 5.
I see. And tell me, what was the biggest challenge for you to get this EP together, and what was the biggest joy?
The biggest challenge. That's a good question. I never recorded such a large project before, so I had to do a lot of planning. I recorded demos. I had to like plan. I had to mix the demos, so I had to plan how it would sound, and then when it came to actually recording, that made it a lot easier. But yeah, you have to do a lot of planning if you're going to record a lot of songs, and yeah, once I'd strategically planned how I was going to record it and then recorded the demos. When it came to actual recording, I was like, it's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. But the biggest joy, I guess it's just having something to call my own. Like I made that. I'm proud of that. I put effort into that and I made it. You know what I mean?
Amazing. Very good. James, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yeah, sounds good.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of wonderful questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. All right. Before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, you don't want to talk about, always can change, okay?
Okay.
Right. First question for you is, what is the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
Oh, what is the most romantic thing someone's ever done for me? You know, I'm in a good relationship right now, and I love my girlfriend very much, and she's done a lot of great things for me. I'd say the first one that comes to mind is when I was turning 21. You know, 21's a big year. I hadn't planned a party. In fact, I planned to do nothing because I'm boring like that. But she randomly invited me round hers, and I was really tired, and I was like, "Oh, I want to sleep." She was like, "No, no, no, come round, come round. Trust me, it's important." And I came round, and I walked into the living room, and everyone I knew was there because she planned a
Oh my
surprise
God.
party for me. Yeah, that was
Oh,
great.
wow. That's beautiful. And how did your path cross, if you can share?
How do we cross paths? We first met right at the beginning of university in a nightclub. Not the best place to meet someone. It's not very romantic, but
No right
yeah.
or wrong. No right or wrong. Who do you think fell in love first, you or her?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Who do you think fell in love first, you or your girlfriend?
Probably me. I'm a really romantic person, and when we first met, I wouldn't say she was as romantic as me. But yeah, I think we both felt it about we both felt very strongly about each other. But I feel like I was more aware of what I was feeling. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so your girlfriend is watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message. What would you say?
That's a lot of pressure. I'd say thank you. She's probably the one of the best things that's ever happened to me. So yeah, thank you for being there.
Beautiful. Next question, let's do it. Okay, James. Next question for you is, what is the funniest or the most memorable gift have ever received?
Hmm. I actually have got a story. I remember. I think it was for my 16th birthday. I was like, I really wanted a PS4, and I was convinced my dad had got me a PS4. So I was sitting there in the living room. My dad was like, "I'll just go get you your present, right?" So he leaves, and all I hear is like the ringing of a bell, like you get on a bike. I was like, "Oh, he's got me a bike," and so I hear him coming through the front hall, and then he walks in with a PlayStation while ringing a little bell. And I was like, "Ah, you got me."
That's funny. And tell me, do you like celebrating birthdays or for you it's just a normal day?
As I said, I'm pretty boring about birthdays. Like I've never really thrown my own party. Well, I did once, but it was kind of a small gathering. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, I've never been like huge on birthdays, but it's nice. But our family doesn't make like a huge deal out of it. You know what I mean?
And when you think about yourself, when you analyze yourself, what's the biggest joy of being James? What do you like the most about being you?
Being so handsome and talented.
Oh, I love the confidence. And what's something that you, if you could improve about yourself, you know, something that we know that we need to work on to improve, and you know, it takes time, and it's just like maybe it's a life journey of learning. There is something about yourself that you know it, you're aware of it.
Oof. I mean, everyone's got a lot of flaws. Um, I'd say the main thing with me is I need to stop being such a defeatist all the time. Sometimes I get overwhelmed by like life in general or like a big project I want to work on not going my way. Again with the EP, I had so many setbacks with that. I remember once I recorded all the guitar and then lost all the recordings. And
Oh,
yeah, not good, not good. But and I was really down in the dumps about it. But I need to learn to just like be stronger and less dramatic about stuff like that. You know what I mean?
You just made me remember a situation now. When I started doing the show, The Magic Box, on the first day, like ever, I had 5 interviews the same day. I started like in a big style. And of course, I was starting, I didn't have my website, I didn't have like my social media. I had the social media, but wasn't like, so it was nothing out there about the show. So I need to invite people online, and it wasn't like, now I have everything. People just can go there and see the channel. So what I did in the beginning, I was inviting friends, people who I know, of course. But there was one person that I invited online, like on social media, and this person accepted. And of course, so the first day, my nerves was like this. I was like, I forgot to do the word association game in the first interviews. And actually, the last interview was with this lovely gentleman, and I forgot to press the recording button.
Oh wow, yeah,
Oh my God. When I realized it was too late, and I was like, damn it. So, so I know your feeling. Can you imagine? My God, it was like the person who I did, you know what I mean? I was like, my God, how it's possible. So yeah, it happened. And I know your point. Just, you go like, "Ugh." But
yeah.
I've learned my lesson now all the time. Before I even start, talking, I already press the button, and I learned my lesson the first day of the interviews.
Yeah, that sounds pretty frustrating, but
It's
live
learn,
and
yeah.
learn.
Next question. So before the next question, tell me how Muse came into your life.
Music.
Yeah.
It's strange because I always wanted to be an artist. I drew a lot as a kid. I was really into drawing, and I wanted to be like a comic book artist. But I remember I went on a school trip, and they got us on some computers for one of the activities where you can make music and you just put together some loops. And I was
Yeah.
obsessed. This was like the best thing I'd ever done. A few years down the line, I find a PSP game because I used to play a lot of PSP, and it was called Beta and it was by Timberland. If you know who Timberland is, the producer.
Yeah.
And it was basically a DAW. It's basically music software in a PSP game. And I used to spend all my waking hours making music on that. And I kind of regret it, but I kind of completely ditched art altogether and replaced it with music just because of that. Like that game genuinely changed my life. So yeah.
And your family, they always supported you regarding your career.
Oh, that's a tough one. They're very supportive now, but at first, I feel like I wasn't very talkative about my passion. I don't think they knew really what I was getting up to. To them, I was probably spending all day playing games when really I was making music. And at first, I got a bit of pushback, especially because I started playing the drums as my first like real instrument.
Okay.
And my dad was like, "That's not a real instrument," you know. But eventually, my parents became quite supportive. But we're not a musical household. None of my parents do music. So for them, I guess it was like kind of, you know, not usual. We're not a musical household, so
I
yeah.
see. Okay. Next question is, what's the best advice have you ever given?
Device that I've been given as like a
Yeah.
gift or one
Someone gave it to
special.
you. Someone gave it to you.
Oh, device that I've been given. I haven't been given that many devices. I usually bought my own tech. I definitely say probably my PlayStation 2. I
Mhm.
inherited it off my dad, and PlayStation 2 is like the best console ever. Yeah, some of my favorite games and just like experiences of all time have been on the PS2. So yeah, definitely that.
Do you play video games every day?
I'm not that big of a gamer. I have a real big passion for games, but I don't actually play it daily. I always kind of save it. You know what I mean?
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. Ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. Next one. You like dancing, James?
No, I'm quite awkward when it comes to dancing.
Okay. Next question is, tell us about your first holidays and why you consider that.
My first holidays.
No, sorry, I did it wrong. Your best holidays, sorry.
My best holiday. When I was younger, we used to go to Cornwall a fair bit, and I'd say the best one was the first time we went there. We must have got really lucky because we stayed in this place called Popero in this really nice house, basically a mansion that
Wow.
we wouldn't normally be able to afford this at all. But my parents seemed to, I don't know, strike up a friendship with the guy who owned the property, and we got this place. I'm guessing for decently cheap, and he was really nice to us. And he was the property owner would constantly come around and visit us. He was a great guy, but it had this amazing view of Popero, the town in Cornwall, and you could see
Yeah.
like the sea, and there's this like peak, like this like rock formation. It's almost like a small little pointy mountain. Just an amazing view. And the first time I saw it, when we first walked down the garden path and saw the view from our front garden, I was just like, whoa! I was like, I must have been around 9 years old, and it just blew my mind. And I spent like an hour just staring at it. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, those moments, like moments like big house, holidays, childhood memories, they're always gonna be there. It's always like that.
Yeah.
Next question. Let's do it. Okay, next question for you is, what was the biggest punishment you have ever received?
Oh, the biggest punishment I've ever received. You know, when I was little, like most kids, when you get told off, you get put on the naughty step. But I can't remember any big punishments. And oh wait, yes, I do. I do actually. You've just triggered a core memory. You're bringing back all these memories that I haven't thought about for ages. So I wasn't a naughty kid. I was actually a very good kid. But because I live out in the sticks, out in the country, me and some of my mates from the local village would get up to some, some really naughty stuff, and we used to like break into farmers' fields and run around shooting each other with BB guns, stuff like that. And I remember we always snuck off into this field, probably like a mile or two away. And when my parents found out, they were really mad that we'd like gone so far, and I was grounded for like a week, for the first time and the last time. And I remember being really upset about that. But yeah, that's yeah. I totally forgot about that until you just reminded me.
Did you like school growing up, James?
No, I really didn't like school. I got bullied quite a bit in primary school, quite badly. High school was actually better. Most people like primary school, but high school's harder because you're a teenager, and it's. But for me, it was the other way around. I was quite a shy kid, and I got bullied relentlessly in primary school. But by the time I got to high school, I'd like became more confident and assertive, and you know how it is with boys. They like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of bullying between boys, but I could handle it a lot better when I was a teenager. So yeah.
And why is that? Why you were bullied at the time growing up?
I think just because I was really, really shy and nice, whereas like
Mhm.
kids are evil. They take advantage of that. You know what I mean?
I see. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Before the next question, tell me a little bit about your band. It's called Treehouse, the
Yes.
band. Yeah, so tell me a little bit about it.
Well, Treehouse is a duo, and it's me and my brother, and we formed in 2022 after I nagged him for months to be in a band with me,
Wow.
and yeah, we released 2 singles this year, and they got they did decently well. We got a decent amount of attention for a brand new band,
See.
and the kind of music we play it varies. We're influenced a lot by like Midwest emo and shoegaze and alternative rock in general, but we also,
Yeah.
because we're two guitarists, we use a lot of like electronic drum tracks, which gives it a kind of like more like electronic edge. So yeah.
Wow. And so your brother is a musician as well.
Yes, following in his big brother's footsteps. He's very talented. He's a really good guitarist, better than me, and
Wow.
he plays the bass. He sings, and he's also a producer as well. So we both produce and mix our tracks. It's really fun.
Amazing. Okay. Next question for you is, if you won the lottery, what would be your first big splurge?
Phew. If I won the lottery, I'd probably buy a house because I'm living at home again now because obviously I lived away in university for 3 years and I've had to move back home, get a job, work my way back to independence. But if I won the lottery, I'd definitely buy myself a house. That would be the first thing.
Somewhere specific or around your area?
Probably in Manchester, because I studied in Manchester. I met a lot of good friends there. I did a lot of the open mics there, gigs there. I was kind of in the music ecosystem, and I'd like
Yeah.
to get back to that. I really would.
2 questions left. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Before the next question, tell me your top 3 favorite artists.
Oh, this is a good question. I like questions like this. I could talk about music all day. Top 3, I'd definitely say I gotta say Radiohead's definitely up there. They're probably my favorite band of all time. I like
Okay.
American Football, if you've heard of them. They're kind of not as well known, but they're very influential to me. When I first heard them, I'd never heard anything like it.
Okay.
And there's so many I could put in third place. I'll probably say Muse. Muse are really good. Kind of underrated. It's a shame because their early stuff was so groundbreaking and experimental. But I wouldn't say I'm such a big fan of their newer stuff. But yeah, Muse are great.
All right. So one day you're gonna wake up with 3 missed calls, one from each of this bands just mentioned now. Which one you call back straight away? Which one you'd send a message saying, "Okay, I'll call you later," and the third call you go like, "You know what? I can call then another day." So tell me those 3.
Wait, who are these calls from?
So you call, one day you wake up in the morning and you have 3 missed calls from 3 bands that you just mentioned now. Yeah, your favorite 3 bands just mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So which one you call back straight away? Which one you send a message saying, "Okay, I'll call you back later," and the third one you don't call, you don't send a message, you just go like, "Okay, I can call them later." So tell me.
That is really hard. I'll probably call back Radiohead straight away because they're my favorite band.
Okay.
The other 2 are great bands. I'll probably text American Football, and I guess I'd ignore Muse, but I wouldn't want to. But if I had to, I'd ignore Muse.
Hard call, yeah. Okay. Next question is, if you could have dinner with anyone, living or not, who that would be and why?
If I could have dinner with anyone, ooh, um, that's a tough one. I'll probably have dinner with probably someone in music who's famous that I
Mhm.
could get a lot of information from. Oh, that's a tough one. My go-to answer would probably be Tom York of Radiohead because, again, my favorite band. And yeah, I just really like to pick his brains because he's like a really interesting figure. His lyrics are so cryptic. I'd like to learn more. But also, I've heard he can be quite brash. You know what I mean? He can be quite harsh with his words. So, they say never meet your heroes. So,
Yes. And if you had the opportunity to sit with him to have a meal, what would be your first question to him?
probably how did you get your band off the ground? Because, um, yeah, I don't know a lot about their early days, and
Uh,
I'd just be really interested, and also help me try and get my band off the ground.
Last question, ready?
Yes.
Do it, last one. So before the last question, no, people when they come to your gigs, when they come to to see you playing or to perform your music, what's something that would you like people to take with them when they go home? Where they're like, wow, I would love them to get this message from.
Um, I've never thought about this before because we just kind of play for fun.
Hmm.
I guess when I write songs, I wanna. They're usually kind of dark songs with sad lyrics. I kind of want people to relate to that if they're going through something if they're going through like a hard time or something. Maybe they could relate to that and maybe feel like they're not so alone or unique in that situation. It could be comforting to hear a song. I've always found comfort in sad songs as opposed to like happier songs, more upbeat music, because it doesn't make me sad. It makes me feel like more understood. So yeah.
I like that, James, and I really related to that because even though sometimes when you are sad for some reason and you put a sad song that you like, it comforts you somehow, if you know what I mean. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I love those music that it brings you sadness or you feel like nostalgia about it, but somehow it's you feel great about it, even though you are in a very down place or something's happening to you. But as soon as you put the music, you go like, okay, there we go. It just feels great. I understand your point.
Yeah.
For you to write songs, you need to be inspired, or you can write anytime.
That's an interesting question. I know a lot of musicians who try and write every day, whereas I only write when I feel like it. Like I practice guitar every day, but if an idea comes to me, then I'll write. But otherwise, I'll just practice songs I've already wrote. So I guess I need inspiration to write, but there's been some occasions where the second song Treehouse put out, That's Okay, the song is about writer's block because we were sitting around and we really wanted to write another song and we didn't know what to write about. So we were like, how about we write about having nothing to write about? So I guess
Interesting.
you can force it if you really want to.
I see. And does inspiration come through based on your personal life or what's happening in the world, or it just like naturally just come like that?
Um, Usually most of the songs I write are kind of personal from like
Yeah.
real life experiences,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes I really exaggerate them, or I can write songs that are just based on nothing, like a made up story. And I think they're sometimes the more fun and interesting songs to write. Like um not for Treehouse, but for some of my like solo stuff, I've just wrote songs that don't really mean anything, but they're more like stories that I just came up with. I feel like it's good to have different ways of writing songs because
Yeah,
it's you can't really rely on always like your personal experiences because if you're going through a very peaceful period of your life, as great as that is, you're not going to really have much to write about. So you need to
totally.
learn to
Yeah.
tell stories. Yeah.
Amazing. Last question is describe yourself in 3 words.
Oh, oh, 3 words. I'm really gonna have to think about this one. I definitely say the first word I choose is ambitious.
Okay.
I've always been very driven uh towards my goals, kind of like single-mindedly. I get like tunnel vision. Um Number 2, I'd say I'm curious. I'm
Okay.
definitely always looking for something new. I'm kind of always doing something. I kind of mix and match hobbies all the time. Like I've gotten into digital drawing, I got into 3D animation, I got into I don't know, like ambient music. I'm always doing different stuff. I'm always quite curious. And for the third word, um, I'd say I'm confident. That's what I say my third word is. I used to struggle really badly with social anxiety and anxiety in general. I used to be nervous all the time. I used to like it was actually really concerning, but now I feel like I've done a total 180. I'm actually
Oh,
quite the opposite, and I feel like just getting on stage has definitely made a huge difference in my personality. It's made me more like outgoing. So yeah.
yeah. Yes, you come across a very confident person. It's
Thank you.
visible. You can see that. And of course, you mentioned at the beginning of the interview you're quite shy. You're bullied at school because of that, and now you're very confident. When was the turn point that you go, okay, you suddenly it just wake up one day, or something happened, or just because of your music?
I'd say it's kind of slow. So it's weird. I was very shy in primary school, as I said, and I got bullied. Then I got to high school and I started martial arts, and that gave me a lot of confidence. But
Mm.
and well, it's controversial to say, but I got into a couple fights at school, and I won most of them, which gave me a lot of confidence until I lost one, and then I lost my confidence completely. Um, and then so then I went back to being shy for many years, and then when I went to college and met all kinds of new people and was like forced to socialize with new
Yeah,
people. That kind of brought me out of my shell a little bit, but I think uni skyrocketed that. Like meeting loads of students, again,
yeah.
starting the open mic nights and doing gigs and performing, just shot it through the roof. So yeah, I definitely think from college onwards, I had like that's where I started to improve in confidence and stuff.
Kids watch this interview. Please don't fight to get confident. Okay, it comes with
Yes,
time. Okay.
yes. Don't make my mistakes. It's not good. It's not good.
No, it's not good. It just was his let's say, journey that happened. Let's put this way. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with money.
Have I just got to come up with a word that I associate
Yeah,
with money?
yeah.
Oh, Wealth.
Okay. Family,
Love.
fear,
Anxiety.
life,
Goals.
love,
Girls.
oh, politics,
Socialism.
sex.
Sex. Oh, that's a naughty one. Good.
I thought you'd say girls again. Religion,
Christianity.
desire.
Sex.
I knew you'd say that for some reason. I didn't say that. Regret,
Family.
success,
Wealth.
wish,
Future.
happiness.
Love.
One word for England.
Lost.
One word for music.
Passion.
And the last one now, Treehouse, the name of your band. One word.
Desire.
Interesting. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your girlfriend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, what's the most beautiful thing about James, and what's something that he still needs to work on? What she would say?
That's. You know what? I don't know. One great thing I think she likes about me is probably. Oh wow. I guess she'd say I think she thinks I'm pretty fit, so I think she thinks I'm good looking. But I think more importantly, she likes my drive and ambition. Like we're both creatives, and you know I admire her and she admires me. So I definitely think she'd say that. She's told me recently, in fact, even though it's a little bit of a weird compliment to give someone. And what I'd have to work on is probably my patience, and I 100% agree. I'm not impatient with her, but I'm quite impatient with the world, and I think I kind of answered this earlier when you asked me something I need to improve on. And it's like,
Yeah.
ah, you know, I kind of like, I used to have this real issue with like, holding everyone to my standard. If people weren't as driven and as ambitious as me, I didn't want to work with them, kind of thing, or I thought less of them. But you know, everyone's different. You can't expect everyone to work like you, especially because again, I get like real tunnel vision when it comes to achieving goals and stuff. Yeah.
I totally understand your point, James, and I just relate to that, because when you are creative, when you are enthusiastic, when you have this passion about something, you just want to do it. But I realize this: it's not just up to you. You need to, the weather needs to go together. Everyone have their own time. You know what I mean? And everything works together at the same time. So I understand that you need to work on and go for it, and at the same time, if other aspects are going slower than that, or you need to understand that everything needs to work together to get to the point where it should be. I understand your point, but when you're enthusiastic, you just want things to get it done, you just want to go for it, and you think that everyone should think the same as well, which is
Yeah.
wrong. I used to have this mindset as well, but yeah, it just comes with time and age. Okay, let's play now, James, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Before you ask me the question, tell me, one day, which person for you, would make you nervous if you are, performing or singing and playing your bands? Which person do you think would be in the audience that you would go like, my God, I can't believe this person is there watching me right now?
Oh, there's quite a few people. Say for example, if like my ex-girlfriend was ever to be in the audience, I think I'd freeze. I think I'd run away. And also my dad. I've never played in
Wow.
front of my dad. And I don't know why I haven't. But he's never seen me play live, even though I know he wants to. But I feel like it would make me quite nervous. You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay, you can ask me a question now, James.
Right. So I'd probably ask you, what kind of music do you listen to? I'd be very interested to know.
Okay. By the way, I love music. I think music makes you it brings the greatest of you. You know what I mean? Listen to music. It's amazing. I live by music. I have music playing all the time. Like if I'm in the gym, if I'm going to work, if I'm, sad or if I'm happy, there's always music behind. I'm very easy with music. I love, okay, the 80s for me, the 80s music was the best decades of music. You know what I mean? For me, I wish I had my age right now. If I could be in the 80s, I grew up in the 80s, but I was a child. But I wish I would be this my age right now in the 80s, just for the weekend, just to see those bands playing, those artists, express themselves through music, through colors, through, sexuality. Everything was happening in the 80s. I think was explosion. So I love the 80s. However, I listen to every kind of music. I'm very fun fact. On Friday nights, I was editing some interviews like at home, and suddenly I put my phone on the side, like just playing some music to give me this good vibes. There is a song with Bruce Springfield,
Springsteen.
Springsteen, yeah, Bruce Springsteen. I know who he is, but I never kind of listen to his songs much. I never kind of, and suddenly just pop up this music, Dance in the Dark. I
Oh
don't know if
yeah.
like he's singing alive. I'll tell you something, James. I'm not joking. I listened to it since like first time like 20 times. I went to bed, listened to that. I could his vibe, he's performing. And I test my friend. He lives in Holland, but now he's traveling Asia. And I sent him a message. Oh my God, I just been listening to this music now for like at least 20 times. He was like, my God, you didn't know him. I said, my God, I know him, but I never went into his music much. But as soon as I started playing, I was like, oh, my God, that's amazing. And I was watching, playing. And today, when I woke up this morning, I played it again. And before, I was playing little beats. So yeah, I'm very easy with music. It's like pop music, rock music, the 80s, even ABBA. I love ABBA, the 70s, pop, any kind of music, I not tend to listen to hard rock, like, this very deep, like, rock, you know what I mean? Just because I don't understand much about the lyrics and it's a bit, you know what I mean? Very aggressive in a way. However, if it comes along, if with a good vibe, the atmosphere around, people around, I would enjoy as well. So it depends the vibe and the place as well. So back to your question, any kind of music for me, it brings me good vibes. But my tendency it goes to the 80s. Somehow those music is the best decade for me. So yeah, that's my answer to you.
Oh, yeah, the 80s was a very special decade for music. I
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I grew up with my mom playing a lot of 80s pop music, bands like The Cure and The Style Council and stuff like that, big inspirations for me.
Yes, I think like in the 70s and even the 80s gave like a step for the 90s where, this pop music came along and the 2000s, the thousand as well. Like those, I think every decade it's a continuation of great music. But there is something about the 80s, the colors, the artists, you know what I mean, playing there, I think was a great area for sure. Did you enjoy the interview?
Yeah, this has been great. I've had a lot of fun, and I feel like I've been slightly psychoanalyzed, but yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Thanks again for taking the time. Thanks for being so kind and accepting my invitation. I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better. I could hear you coughing a little bit through the interview, and it's great. So before you go, James, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Oh, a positive message. Damn, pressure's on to say something inspirational. I'd say probably think big. The bigger your aspirations are, the bigger your dreams are, you know, the more likely you are to achieve. Like if you have like an impossible aspiration, like an impossibly high dream, you're at least gonna make it halfway, which is like way more than most people even dream they can get to. So yeah, the bigger you dream, the more likely you are to actually achieve it.
I love that. I love that. And sometimes we are shy to dream big for any reason. It's not wrong with that. You should, think big as well, like dream big, and it's not wrong with that. Don't be shy. Just go for it. The bigger you dream, don't worry. It's just a great way of dreaming. I totally agree with you. Great. So thanks again. Thanks for the the interview, and regards to your family and your girlfriends, and keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show, okay?
It was great talking to you. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.